All right, good morning, Project 19 Men. Don't you just love that view? Other than the power lines behind me, isn't that gorgeous? This is one of my favorite spots, not far from the house out here on the West Mesa Desert out here, just west of Albuquerque. Got the Rio Grande Valley just blossom green below me, and just the majestic sandy mountains to the east. And you know, it may look small in this picture, but I'm telling you, from this view right here, those mountains are standing tall and are absolutely gorgeous. And anyhow, it's great to be with you guys this morning. And I have been, on the last couple of days, taking an online group assessment of becoming a better man. It's been actually pretty awesome. And one of the things that the speaker is talking about, good morning, Brian. And guys, apologize. I know I'm coming later than I normally do in the morning. But anyways, I'm on. So that's what's important. So it's good to see you, Brian. It's great to have you on here, brother. All the way out in South Carolina, North Carolina, somewhere out there. Dude, it's just great to see you, man. Anyhow, been taking this online venture into becoming a better man. And wow, it's been just a wealth of knowledge and just something truly good for me as I grow to become a bigger, better, stronger man, and what I'm out to do and help other men do the same thing. Anyhow, I want to share a little bit this week about what I've been learning and just kind of give my perspective on it. And you know, one of the duties of a man that this particular gentleman is talking about, the responsibilities that we have, guys, if we want to become bigger and better and stronger as men, is there's three areas that we're the protector, the provider, and the leader. And I want to talk to you a little bit today about the protector and what it means as men to protect. And I'm just going to give my perspective on that. But before I do, I want to kind of set it up for you real quick. You know, as I'm out and about my day, doing the things that I do, doing a lot of writing and getting stuff ready for my book to be published in September, and all the different activities that my publisher has me working on, I do a lot of work in coffee shops across this Rio Grande Valley you see behind me here. And, you know, we just live in a crazy world. And it's frightening, and it's amazing what I've had experienced in the number of coffee shops that I've been in, to where, you know, the store owners or some of the employees have had to call the police because they've had an incident or a situation that became very alarming or very uncertain of certain individuals. And I'll just be honest with you guys, I love it. Good morning, Roberta, and all the Hoyt boys. Good morning, Jenna. It's good seeing you. And I just have to be honest with you. Good morning, Carlos. Is that when I'm in these coffee shops, I just feel safer when there's cops in there. I just do. And every time I get up and I go over and I shake their hands and I tell them thank you for their service. And you know, I had a conversation this past weekend at church with one of my buddies, and he's part of the security team. And you know, it was an interesting conversation because, you know, we live in alarming times where we're seeing so much mass murder. And you know, I every time I go into church, it's on my mind. You know, I'm looking, and when I'm at a coffee shop, I sit to where I can see the door and where I can look at the parking lot, because you just never know. Yesterday, I was coming home after spending some time working, getting some writing done. And, you know, I saw this pack of boys, teenage boys, and I just kind of started chuckling as I was watching them walk down the street. And because I was going back to my teen years when I was 14, 15, 16, and I was chuckling because I saw myself, you know, acting all cool, you know, with my buds, you know, and they were, I was really cool because a very, very, very diverse pack of boys. One had long hair. Most of the other ones had short hair. One was in jeans and a dark shirt, and it was like nearly 100 degrees out here in the desert, so you had to know he was dying of heat exhaustion. And they were very diverse in culture and ethnicity. You know, there was a couple of white kids, there was a couple of Hispanic kids, looked like one kid was half black, half white, and probably some Native American kids. I mean, just a small pack of boys. And they were looking over fences and just acting cool, right? And as I drove by, I had my windows down, as I drove by, one of them, just as I passed, said something. I mean, he yelled at me, he said something, I didn't catch it, and there was some kind of a gesture, didn't catch that either, and, I just kind of chuckled. But then my thoughts went to immediately what I want to talk about this morning, men. If we're going to be the protector, we've got to guard against the father wound. And as I passed by and those boys were now in my rearview mirror, I begin to, just wonder, what is their father wound? These boys, they're growing up in a culture to where, the father is absent. And am I still on? Can someone tell me if I'm still on here? Because I'm having a hard time seeing what I got. Okay, so I began to just wonder about, some of these boys. What was their life like? What was their home life like? And gentlemen, here's what I want to get across to you. We're to be the protector, we are to be the provider, and we're to be the leader. And one of the things we've got to guard against, and we've got to protect men, is against the father wound in our culture. You can go on the internet and you can research this. You can Google this, and there is a ton of information about the father wound. We are growing a generation of young people that have absentee fathers, that are being abused in the home by an adult, particularly a male, predominantly the husband or father, the stepfather. And there's a perpetuation of pain. And then we're seeing divorce rates that are alarming, and we're seeing all these different things. And it stems, men, listen to me, it stems from how we live and how we choose to live, and our choices in life and the actions that we take. And here's one of the things I want to encourage you today, men, is that we need to be protectors, and to protect our marriages and our children from the father wound. And this gentleman that's sharing all this information that I've been going through this past week is talked a lot about a lot of incredible things, and how we're to protect whatever sphere of influence we're in whatever environment in, that we be the man that steps up and goes to protect even the stranger if something malicious is happening to someone, if bullying is taking place, and we step in. And I just want to take it a step further and say, guys, listen, we need to step in, and we need to guard, and we need to protect against the father wound. And if you've been wounded, and if you've been damaged by a male in your life, particularly your father, I'm going to encourage you that there's hope, and that there's healing, and you got to find it down deep inside of you to forgive and to move on. I heard an incredible story this weekend about a young man whose father left him when he was 4 years old, and he just heard from him I think a couple of years ago, and 25 years had passed since he had seen his dad, heard from his dad. And his dad had found him on Facebook and reconnected. Anyways, he talked about how he finally got to talk to him on phone. And he told him, said, Dad, I found a father, and my father is God Almighty. And he has forgiven me and redeemed me and healed me and restored me. Therefore, I want you to know I forgive you. Number two, that I love you. And I just want to encourage you, if you've been wounded, to do the same thing. So, gentlemen, there you have it. That's simple today. I just wanted to share it with you. Tomorrow I want to talk about being the provider, and then I'll end it up on Thursday about being the leader. But I want to encourage you. Let's protect. Let's get out there, and let's be the men that we were created to be. And let's take on the duty and the responsibility of protection for those around us, and particularly against the father wound that is damaging so many lives in our culture today. Everybody take care. God bless. We'll see you right back here mañana. Have a good one.